Hello everyone. Today we will discuss Sonnet 116 Let Me Not to the Marriage of True Minds by William Shakespeare. First, we will explore the structure of Sonnet 116. What is the rhyming scheme and what is the meter used by William Shakespeare in this sonnet. And then we will discuss this sonnet line by line. Let's begin and learn Let Me Not to the Marriage of True Minds. So don't forget that William Shakespeare is a poet of Elizabethan era. Shakespearean sonnet tradition and structure. One thing you have to remember about sonnet, that sonnet consists of 14 lines. So Shakespeare, this sonnet, Let Me Not to the Marriage of True Mind, consists of 14 lines. So three things we can predict about a sonnet. First, there will be 14 lines. 3 quatrain and 1 couplet. So what is quatrain? Quatrain is a verse form and consists of 4 lines. And what is couplet? Couplet consists of 2 lines in poetry. So the first thing, that a sonnet consists of 14 lines. And these 14 lines are structured into 3 quatrain and 1 couplet. Not every sonnet is structured in this way. Like Petrarchan sonnet is structured in different way, and like a Spenserian sonnet is structured in different way, and Shakespearean sonnet is structured in different way. But one thing is common in these all types of sonnet, that every sonnet consists of 14 lines, regardless whether it is Shakespearean sonnet, it is Petrarchan sonnet, or it is Spenserian sonnet. So Shakespearean sonnet consists of 14 lines, and these 14 lines are structured in 3 quatrain and 1 couplet. The second thing, the rhyming scheme of Shakespearean sonnet is A B, C D, E F, and G, N, G. So it means that the last word of line number 1 is rhymed with the third line, last word of the third line. Similarly, that the last word of the second line is rhymed with the last word of the fourth line. So line number 1 will rhyme with line number 3, and line number 2 will rhyme with line number 4. C D, E F, and G, N, G. We will discuss this more when we have a poem in front of us. So it means that does the last word of the first line rhyme with the last word of the third line, and does the last word of the second line rhyme with the last word of the fourth line, and so on. We will discuss this on coming slide. And the third thing you have to remember about Shakespearean sonnet is that it is written in iambic pentameter. So what is iambic? Iambic means that unstressed and stressed syllable in a line of poetry. So this is a rhythmical pattern. And in iambic, we have 2 syllables. The first syllable is unstressed and the second one will be stress. Don't forget, okay, like this a kind of rhythm, we say like ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. So b, there will be unstressed. Bum, there will be stress. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. Right? And pentameter means that in this meter, we will have 5 feet. Right? Penta mean 5. So in this meter, we will have how many feet? 5 feet. And we will have 10 syllables. So in each foot, we will have 2 syllables. So the number of feet will be 5, and in each foot we will have 2 syllables. And the first syllable will be unstressed and the second will be stressed. So total number of syllable 10 and total number of feet 5. That's why it's called pentameter. Penta mean 5. So we will have 5 feet in this meter, iambic, right? So the first syllable will be unstressed followed by a stressed syllable. So it is, for example, he says that in this sonnet that it is the star that everyone drink bath. You can see It is, not it is, but it is babam, the star babam. It is the star with everyone drink bar. So we have in this line 5 feet. For example, it is 1 foot. The star, it is 2nd foot. With this is the 3rd foot. And Riwan, this is the 4th foot. And drink bar, this is the 5th one. So we have 10 syllable first, it, and then is 2nd, and then the 3rd, and then star 4. That 5, F 6, Re 7, 1, 8, and go on. So we have 10 syllables, we have 5 feet, and the pattern is unstressed and stress iambic. It is the star with everyone drink bar, and whose words unknown, although his height be take. And if this be error and upon me prove, I never read nor know men ever loved. So this is the pattern in which Shakespeare writes and composes all of his sonnet, right? Now we move to some introduction to this sonnet. This poem is considered the greatest single poem of Shakespeare in terms of how he defines true love. So in this sonnet, we are going to learn that how Shakespeare defines love. Not just love, but a true love. You may have different definitions to love, okay? Different scholars define love. But here we will learn that what is a true love according to Shakespeare. The idea has borrowed from the Greek mythology as specially presented in Plato Symposium. So what is the Greek mythology? That every human being is born half, right? And the rest of life he or she spends to discover, to explore the other half of himself or herself. So it is said that in Greek mythology that the man, when the human being became very powerful, so there was a council of the gods, and the gods decided, okay, and this council was led by Zeus, who was the king of the god. And the Zeus decides that this human being should be split into 2 parts. So human being that time, according to this mythology, human being that time has had 4 arms and 4 legs and 2 faces, 4 ears and 1 hand. So Zeus comes, who was the head of the gods, and he split this human being, and then he asked from Apollo, who was the son of the Zeus, right, to fix the ears, to fix the nose, and to fix the face of this human being. So it is said that every human being is born half later on, and the human being spends, okay, entire life to discover half of himself, right, to complete himself or to complete herself. So this is a Greek mythology. That's why today we say, okay, that he or she is my better half. So what does it mean by better half? To complete one person, to make him or her as a whole, a complete whole. But we can't have a complete whole, right? Because when you marry someone, so you see that still there are problems. So we can't have like a complete whole. There'll be some problems all the time. So this is a Greek philosophy. This poem of Shakespeare is based, okay? So he borrows idea from Greek mythology. So Shakespeare is going to pick up that game and play it again now in Sonnet 116. Let's discuss. So this sonnet consists of 14 lines. You can see we have first quatrain, line number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is first quatrain. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, second quatrain. And then we have 1, 2, 3, third quatrain. And finally, we have a couplet, right? So let's see that what is the rhyming scheme. You can see the last word of the first line, minds, it rhymes with the last word of the third line. So minds and finds. And the last word of the second line, love, it rhymes with the last word of the fourth line, that is remove. So we can put here A and B, A and B. So minds and finds, A, and love and remove B and B. So this is the first quatrain. The second one is mark and bark, C and C, and shaken and taken, and D and D. So the last word of the fifth line, it rhymes with the last word of the seven. And the last word of the sixth line, it rhymes with the last word of the eight. So this is the fifth one, mark and bark. So we can say that C and C, and D and D. And the third quatrain, cheeks and weeks, and come and doom. So the last word of the line number 9, it rhymes with the last word of the line number 11, right? And the last word of the line number 10, it rhymes with the last word of the line number 12. You can put here, that is like that was C and D, and then we have, you can put like E, F, okay, and then we have E, F. And finally we have G, that is proved and loved. So the last word of the line number 13, it rhymes with the last word of the line number 14. So this is the rhyming scheme. And as I told you that we have iambic pentameter, like let me, not to, the may, rejob, to minds. You can see, let me, this is first foot. Not to, this is the second foot. The may, the third foot. Reach off, the fourth one. To minds, the fifth one. So we have 5 feet, 10 syllable, and unstress, 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 and stress. So in the first quatrain, Shakespeare, he discusses and he tells us that what is love by telling